Hi everyone, my name is Andrea and I'm working for the Czech promotion agency in the Netherlands. Besides of doing business here, I'm a really passionate cook, and together with my dear colleagues from another Czech agencies in the Netherlands, we decided to introduce you the most pressure and the most delicious meal from the Czech cuisine, which is the Czech cream sauce. This recipe is definitely not for the beginners, but at the other hand, it's not really as difficult as it looks like, though it's quite time consuming, so it needs to be split into 2 days. For the first day, you will need 500 grams of really nice meat. In Czech, we use something what is called a fake sirloin. This part of meat is from the back thighs of the cow. When I'm cooking cream sauce in the Netherlands, I'm simply using a beef stock. For further, you will need 100 grams of animal fat. If you cannot make to get the animal fat from your butcher, just simply use the English breakfast bacon or a bacon. You will need half of a big bulk of celery, 2 winter carrots, 1 big petersilia root, and a bit of the butter. For the beginning, I will start to heat the pan. Simply mix. And I will use all the fat I have. Just to shove it in. Every kitchen is using for the basis something different. The Italians are crazy about using the olive oil for beginning. French are using a butter, but we Czech, we are using the animal fat. It's really not the healthiest thing though, but it's super delicious at the other hand. So we need to get the juice out of it, and after we bake it for a while, we will add the vegetable, a little bit of the salt, and mix it properly. If you would like to skip the animal fat, or if you want just to reduce the calories, add simply the butter instead. I have more than enough because these pieces are really fat, so I will skip the butter for now. We will start with the carrots because it's the roughest vegetable. And I will just leave it for a while. I know you Dutchmen, or Dutchmen in general, they are not really big fans of salty things, or they don't add salt that much or as much as we are used in the Czech cuisine. You can, you might, you not, whatever, but if salt, then please now at the beginning, because then you get the proper flavor out of it. So voila. So the vegetable needs to be mixed very properly with the fat, and it needs to be baked from all sides. So and this is the base of everything. Speaking about the cream sauce. So mix it properly, because then you can get the proper color. And just leave it for a while. Just stir it occasionally. So, as mentioned, I have it quite fatty enough, so I don't need, there's no need to add some butter, but who wants? It's not really the most dietetic version, but definitely more healthy, but at the other hand, naturally less juicy and tasty. So I will put the heat down. And I will jump to the meat. So, to get the meat really juicy, you will put a little bit of the fat inside as well. To succeed it, I put the slices of the fat, I put it in the freezer for 20 minutes, half an hour, and just take a really sharp knife and make a really proper holes in the middle, and then just take the frozen bacon or the fat and lord it in. So that's supposed to be the result of our meat preparation. The leftovers, what you can get out of the animal fat, just put simply in a big pan, which will be big enough to store the meat and the vegetable. So for now, just put the meat in the pan and add the vegetable. The vegetable cool down a bit, and do not forget all the juice from the pan. So it is really important now to leave it set for at least 24 hours. Last step of day one is adding the water in the pan, where is all the vegetable and all the juice, very important. Leftovers from the fat and the meat itself. Please, the most important thing is to add a cold water, and as much as would be enough to cover everything you have in. See, everything is nicely covered, and from now just find a really nice dark spot for the pan, cover it, alu foil is enough, and just leave it for 24 till 75 hours in a dark place. I personally like to add a little bit of the salt at the end and a little bit of the pepper. I prefer the colorful one, but if you want a black one, white one, whatever, but just really teeny tiny bits. Cover it with the lid, and we will see tomorrow. So see ya. Hi everyone, second day of our cooking show follows, and I would like to continue in the preparation of our wonderful cream sauce. So we actually let the meat in the pan with the vegetable for now 30 hours, and you can see really nice pinkish color covered by the vegetable and with a little bit of the fat, which is all fine. Now actually, before I start to cook everything, I need to add some spices. So I have black pepper. I'm using actually 15 balls. It's not really necessary to add more because we already have some pepper inside. Then I have a bay leaf. I have three and a half bay leaves. And a bit of the pimento. Pimento is very important, especially in the Czech cuisine. And so do not hesitate to add more than usual. I have in total, I have 2 for 7. Which should be enough. So I put it on the hot pan for a while, just dry heating, because to open up the flowers. And second, I grill it, bake it there for a while. I will add it in the pan. And the meat supposed to be cooked for 1 to 2 hours. In our case, because the meat was really tender, I think 1 hour will be enough. But you can easily check the tenderness with spoon and fork. So I think this will be enough. And simply add it in. Do not forget to stir it. Ah, what a shame you cannot smell it. It's lovely. So, close it properly, and I will boil it for a while. And just lower the temperature on low to medium low, and let it simmer for an hour. So I will come back to you in a minute. Here we are again. An hour later, you can see the sauce is about to be done, and the meat is already super tender. The water evaporated a bit, so we have actually the really nice juice rich on flavor, but do not hesitate to add a little bit of the hot water. So for the last, let's say, 20 minutes. In the meantime, it's quite a right time to prepare the dumplings as the side dish. In the last half an hour, it's the right time to prepare the dumplings. We are really famous with making a lot of different kind of dumplings, but I will prepare the one which I personally like the most and which are, in my opinion, the easiest ones. So you will need 2 eggs, you will need 250 grams of a baguette. Just use the simple white baguette you can buy everywhere. And in ideal scenario, the baguette is 2 to 3 days old. You have black pepper, you have a muscat nut, you have a petersilie. I personally prefer the curly one, but you can use the flat one as well. And you have 200 milliliter of lukewarm milk. First of all, you put the old bread, you cut it in the cubes, and you put it in the oven for, let's say, 10 to 15 minutes until it's brown. First of all, we need to whisk the egg whites until stiff and separate it from the egg yolks. Simply. So you can add a little bit of salt, a little bit of the black pepper you have here, and the muscat nuts. So just mix it, and we will wait for the bread. And when the bread is ready, you just pour the milk on the mixture. So I will put it aside. What is really handy to do as well is to prepare the cranberries. Cranberries are super to decorate the sauce and the final dish with, but I have a problem in the Netherlands that I cannot get a really nice cranberry canned. I can get only the cranberry jam, which is too sweet and a little too much fabric. So what I do, and I hope you will not judge it, the hash, but what I do, I just buy dried cranberries, and I will put it in the water for, let's say, half an hour, because the sugar out of the dried cranberries will remain in the water, and then I will put it in the small pan, and I will boil it. But now back to the dumplings. So we have here the egg white, which needs to be whisked. It takes about 10 minutes to make the egg white really snowy. Now we are ready to add the bread, I believe. So simply now just add the milk and the egg yolks with the spices. The egg snow goes as the last one. So the mixture needs to set for 10 to 15 minutes. It doesn't need to be in the fridge, but just put it aside to make a really nice dough. Don't mix it too heavily, because in the dumplings it's really nice when the bread cubes stays. So I think I could need some more milk. And salt. I think pepper is not necessary to add, we have enough, but you can always add afterwards. So, as you see, you have a little bit of the milk on the bottom, which will soak in. Just cover it and put it aside. So, this is actually the almost final. As you can see, the meat is super tender. It has nice, so light pinkish color, and the vegetable is super tender. So we take out the meat now and we put it aside. Don't forget to take out the bay leaves as well. Ideally the pimento either. We are usually using such a small fabric bags to put all the spices in that we don't need to search for it like I do now. But I don't have it here. But it's fully to recommend. The pimento doesn't matter here, but the bay leaves are really not nice in the sauce. Well, here we are. And what is really important to add is a cream. Do not hesitate to use the fat cream, so 30%. If you use the diet one, or 0% or the 10%, it's good. You will have a better feeling about not eating that heavy and that fatty, but trust me, the result is way different. And because this is a family recipe, and actually, and I'm telling you our tricks. We don't add the whole 3/4 liter of the cream solely, but we use half liter of carne milk. Carne milk is really nice. It gives the sauce a little bit sourish taste. So take the blender and you can start to blend it. The sauce is aside, and I'm finalizing the dumplings. The last ingredients we need to add is the flour. Actually, you can use whatever you want, but I personally, because I don't really like the gluten-rich flours, I personally adding the volkoren speltmeal. You can find it in the appie. Under usual circumstances. Just 2 spoons in the flour. Naturally, meanwhile, let the big jar of water, a little bit salted, let it boil, because the dumplings will come in. So when the mixture is ready, simply use your hands and make two. You can do either bowls this size, or you can do the ovals. I personally like the bowls. And the ovals have this shape. So don't be afraid about the liquidity, because it will stick really nicely together. See. Finally, you need to use the foley, and you will roll the mixture in as tight as possible. See, idly. It falls a little bit apart, but it actually doesn't matter, because the foley will give the nice shape. So, roll it once again. So, and make it really, really tight. So we have such a small cocoon. The water needs to be boiled, and just put it simply in. You will need 10-12 minutes in. The water needs to be a little bit salty. The dumplings, they need in total half an hour, I would say. In the recipe you can always find 25 minutes, but I have never managed to make them ready in 25 minutes. So I would suggest 30 to 40 minutes if they couldn't be overcooked, so it wouldn't hurt. 20 minutes before they are done, you can start to prepare the rest. Here are the cranberries. They need to be boiled in the water they were soaked in. So just let it boil for a while. And here is the sauce. The sauce needs to be boiled once again as well, and add a little bit of the lime. I would say not even a half. So just the final flavoring is only up to you. So as you wish, add salt, add pepper, and I prefer to add lime, but according to your taste and flavor. So leave it for on like the minimum heat, these 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and let's wait for the dumplings for now. We're ready. So put the dumplings on the cut board and let's get the meat. So it's supposed to be thin slices. So the dumplings are ready. Just carefully. The small one has an ideal consistency, and I believe the big one will have as well. And just cut it in as big or as thick or as thin as you wish. So it needs to be a little bit fluffy inside and tender. So I guess we're ready to serve. So we have two boards, a female one and a male one. And the cream sauce. The consistency is, in my opinion, ideal, but as mentioned, if you want to have it thicker or more reduced, just use more cream or even more water. The cranberries are super important. You can have it served with even more cream, with whipped cream on top, but this is, in my opinion, way too much. So bit of lime, and I guess we are ready. So enjoy the meal. If you should have any questions, you will have the contact below. Please do not hesitate to write me a note, and the recipe you will find in the comments as well. Enjoy the meal, and I hope I will be able to welcome you in a Czech Republic once. Thank you.